Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everyone, and myself. It's me, the one and only. I'm Mao Zedong's daddy, giving him a good spank on the daily. Here's your boy Jog at it again with another video on this good old channel. And this one we're gonna start a new series potentially because that's my spiel, is just always starting new stuff and not always following up on everything, but we gotta start somewhere. And I think it's really, really important I do this because I have some palpable frustration and disdain for the topic of this video, religion, precisely. And there's going to be what I will hope to be legitimate reasons that I lay out in a series of videos, but also just general points and questions that hopefully people will ingest and actually, take to heart and consider and maybe take a second look at things, because, there's some really titanic issues, even obstacles that are causing all of us to prevent our own selves from growing. All of us, each other is growing, and really like letting go of things that aren't getting us anywhere. I've been critical of this for a while. I wanted to start a series on this, and the biggest core issue I have with it is the leap of faith into this end-all, be-all ghost fascism. I wouldn't be a edgy white boy on YouTube criticizing religion if I didn't bring up Christopher Hitchens, and he has this good old line about in one of his old debates that I saw a while back, something he characterized it as like something about a divine North Korea, right, or a spiritual North Korea, right? This all-loving, quote-unquote, all-knowing, which again, as a communist, like that's classic Christopher Hitchens with the neocon, misunderstanding of North Korea because of Western propaganda. This is all tangential information that doesn't matter. The point is, he was comparing this God, right, to this our idea of like a totalitarian, authoritarian, oppressive dictatorship because of the nature at which everyone puts everything into it, and the way its characterization is defined and titled with an inherent quality of some level of omnipotence. Any and all spiritualities claim to have a higher power, and that higher power exists universally above humanity. Even stuff like Taoism or Buddhism. I'm no expert at all in Shintoism, but I could have sworn like Shintoism is also very much about like just like reverence and humility, right? Something about like worshiping objects or something. I don't know. I'm not. I have no idea what I'm talking about with that. So let's just drop that. These alleged alternatives of peace, even like indigenous religions and spiritualities, right? It doesn't matter how well-meaning these things are. It doesn't even matter to the degree at which that they've kind of sort of gotten some myths right, or it's an inconsistency that exists so much through it, and there are requirements about it that are you have to believe in things about it that no person should really have to kind of equip to their mind to be a part of something. When I make this assertion that all of these things are above humanity, I'm not saying they claim to have this arrogance that they're better than humans, although many times they do that, right? I'm not claiming, I'm looking to strong man this, to steel man this argument, really kind of lay out exactly what the best intentions of it are and show that that's even wrong. There's none of these belief systems think that like they're lesser than humans, that human beings can overcome said belief system and change it into something else. All of these belief systems prescribe's the wrong word, describe or anthropomorphize, personify, because that's a lot of what this stuff is too. It's like fantasy stories, right? Things in life that we didn't understand, or things that people need to think are higher power stuff to help perpetuate hierarchical power structures or justifications in society for things like older societies with their civilizations and the religious elites existing like right below the leaders of that society, and using that power to help justify each other for their place, the divine right to rule and stuff like that. You notice how it ends up existing as a very convenient tool for the most awful people to justify their behavior as well, which will be another thing I'll get into another time. The point is, man, all of these things don't say that they lag behind humanity, that they can be, misunderstood, and that maybe we should change things in their own, in humanity's own way, not in their way. That we can, all of these things claim that it has all the answers, rely on them, think this way, this is the right way, we've got the right idea, and to claim that they don't, right, is dishonest. Okay, because why do you believe in it if you don't think you think it's true? This is about holding religious and spiritual people accountable, because forgive my aggression, I guess, on the matter, but I'm really sick of this stuff. Like, it's intellectual sloppiness to a degree that's irritating beyond recognition, if that's even possible. All these spiritualities claim some superiority and importance, or power, or knowledge, or morality, and they give excuses to people for them to get lazy with their intellectual scrutiny. All of these believers on a fundamental level require a leap of faith to truly think these belief systems. There's an invisible person in the sky, this thing happened with this force, and it made a deal that made this rock, and this massive flood, and this boat, and this the rib taken from this, and the gods came down, and dragons turned into people, and come on, like, this is, you'll find me passionately, albeit reductively, sometimes stating that I think it's mass mental illness. Sure, making a claim like that is incendiary and unfair, but I think even in my simplest terms, it's hard to rebut that. If I told you I believed in an invisible purple silhouette in the sky, and sacrificed pieces of paper and burned them as a ritual to a god I thought responsible for making me smell good, you would rightly think me to be insane. While I'm not equating insanity with religious belief exactly, is there not a factor of delusion tolerance at play here? We allow this stuff, right? And we just kind of accept it as a way of trying to coexist each other. But if it existed outside of an organized community and existed in individuality with a single person story, it would be quite easily marked and seen, perceived, and most, in my argument, my perception, most justifiably seen as a, like, hey, something's wrong with this person, and not this person has a belief system and we should just respect it. Individuals can wear weird hats or wrap themselves up in all kinds of clothing and sing songs in your pretty buildings, break bread, hold hands, make everything okay, do what you want. Again, with all due respect to every person's intelligence watching or listening, do you not see how ridiculous these things are if just even the slightest effort is put into questioning it? I keep saying this with all due respect to any believers. Frankly, I don't owe you any of it. You will not find peace in something you can't see. You can't interact with this. You can't change it. You can't change the terms. There's only rigid acceptance of a spiritual totality. There's no fluid change to it. And even the most well-intentioned, peaceful belief systems are giving reductive, simple, not subject to change, definitions, narrations, interpretations of reality that aren't living up to the scrutiny. Finding solace and comfort in something you think eternal in a finite life, knowing it will only be able to prove its legitimacy, its existence, when you're dead, and you're operating on the total opposite of being in which you currently live when you are dead, will not be worth the sacrifices of acceptance you make to be content with a reality in which suffering is everywhere while you are alive, here and now, the thing that actually exists. With this death afterlife stuff, you have no fucking idea that exists, and the only way that you will is by being in a state of being that is the fundamentally opposite of what you currently live, the same fundamental being in which you live in now, which you claim that this will exist afterwards, so clearly, so certainly, without any issue. It's absurd. None of these belief systems admit they could be wrong and should be changed into something else if they are wrong down the line, something Marxism does do. And Marx calls religion the opium of the masses, not because he saw it as a drug, but because he saw it as a last-ditch effort. You know, something about, like, the light in eternal darkness, right? You know, let's look it up real quick, just to get it right? Because, like, it's so, because there's more, you know, like more meaning than just that one sentence, right? Religion is the opium of the people. It is the sigh of the oppressed creature, right? The heart of a heartless world, right? And the soul of our soulless conditions, right? It's so much more of an intimate, nuanced, and almost respectful interpretation. It has nothing to do with thinking it's a drug. He saw it as a last-ditch effort to find joy and comfort in a world of suffering. Nietzsche, right? We're going to pull out the Nietzsche. Also thought that although every piece of religion was wrapped up in all kinds of fallacious logic, he also conceded pursuing religion, while not exactly noble, was still a gesture of hope in the face of the oncoming wave of nihilism in Europe. I'll do more than one video, and I'll dissect certain topics. This has been even more all over the place, too, and I think hopefully I can push and challenge myself to step up a little and put more effort into really pulling apart my issues with, you know, religion and spirituality. I could keep going. I always have so much to say. I never know where to start or how to end these things. So just take it easy. Thanks for watching, listening. Let me know what you think. Looking forward to making more content, upping my quality. And thanks again. Hope you're well. Yeah. See you in the next one.